Tell me if this sounds familiar. Client calls you up on the phone, tells you he needs what you're selling. He needs your product and service. He knows exactly what his problem is. He's ready to buy what you're selling because he knows that your service is exactly what he needs and it's going to solve the problem to the T. You're getting really excited because now this sounds like money is about to walk through the door. You send him the proposal, he signs, and it's about time to get started with work. And here is when the shit hits the fan because there is no match. The problems are so much more deeper and wider than the customer initially told you about, and your team's having a hard time delivering because actually your product and service does not match the client. If this sounds familiar, then I'm really happy that you've got this video, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the superpower that you can learn and bring into your team today so that you can avoid this kind of problem in the future and supercharge your business, close more business, and deliver a fantastic experience. Hi, and welcome to the Elevated Entrepreneur YouTube channel. My name is Dhiren Bhatia, and I help consultants and coaches package their creativity into a system so that they can build consistent income. Today's video is all about the power of the process of discovery. Now, if you've ever been to a doctor's office, the doctor will typically triage or ask lots of questions about your situation before even getting close to making a diagnosis or giving you a prescription. He's never going to give you a prescription the minute you sit down. He needs to know the problem. And not just know the problem, he needs to understand when it started, why it started, what are you doing about it, and what is something that you're looking to do today. And that's exactly what we as consultants and coaches need to do too. We need to really get to the bottom of what the client needs before we sell them our product and service. And so in some ways, us as business owners, founders, sales managers are really doctors in disguises, aren't we? We are here to be able to understand and get to the crux of the client's issue. And we can do that through what I call the discovery process. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 types of questions that you need to ask in your discovery process, and they are in a very specific order. So make sure when you're making your notes or you're drafting your questions, try to keep them in this order so that you make the most of this system. And you can do this through a phone call, a face-to-face meeting, or even a form that you can send ahead of time, whichever works for you. But believe me, please don't underestimate the importance of doing this before meeting the client or before signing the proposal. Because once you sign the proposal, it's too late to back out, because then credibility is on the line. And you know what happens when credibility is on the line? There is no coming back from lost credibility. You're not going to get a second chance. The first type of question that you need to ask is questions that help you listen. Questions to listen. When was the last time you actually asked questions only for listening purposes, not to react, not to reply, but just to listen? And that, I can tell you, my friends, really key part of this process. Asking really wide-ranging, maybe in some cases unnecessary questions. You need to formulate a foundation of what's really happening in the client's organization. Now, questions to listen can also be asked to other stakeholders in the project, not necessarily the business owner or the decision maker, but typically great way to bring in somebody else from other teams to that table to ask those questions. You know what's also very interesting is to have members from different teams from the same organization battle it out, because one understanding of the issue compared to the others are typically different. And that's when you get deeper into the situation and you really are listening for keywords and formulating that foundation, that really big picture of what's really happening here right now. What are examples of questions for listening? When did this problem start? Or how long have you had this problem for? What have you been doing all this time about this problem? Those are great ways to get started with questions to listen. The second type of question you need to be asking are questions to learn. These are operational questions. These are now starting to come down from the 30,000 foot view down to the 1,000 foot view, 500 foot view, maybe even down to the 100 foot view. And again, no question is off limits. No question should never be not asked because of us feeling silly or ashamed. I'd say all questions are go, because I'm here to help you solve a problem. And if I can't ask questions, you're not allowing me to serve you. You're taking away that chance for me to give you great service. And I typically will preface all my questions by saying, I'm asking these questions to build my case and understand the problem. So please help. And if you can't answer these questions, let me know who I can speak to, and there may be able to answer my question. So that really will help set the tone with the client. So coming back to asking questions to learn. So for example, why are you looking to change now? Why are you looking to implement a system now? Or why are you looking to do X now? What has changed that is wanting you to make this change today? Another good example of this is, why can't you do it yourself? What's stopping you from hiring so and so person to do it? Again, some of these questions may feel like they are argumentative, but framing them and helping set the context around the question will really open up a can of worms that the client may not have initially intended to, but we want to open cans of worms so that we can get deeper into them and really get to the bottom of the issue. The third type of question that you need to be asking are questions to lend. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about lending authority, lending experience, lending connections. These are the kinds of questions that are now going to set you as an authority figure, not necessarily just a solutions provider. You're here to give them a solution, but as a solutions provider, they need to know that you're much more capable than that. It's only then that they get comfortable in doing business, because they do business with people they know, like, and love. And we want them to get to love us. And that's how we show them that they can love us, because we are much bigger than what we're here to sell. A good example of this also is to be able to connect them to your network. If I pick up on a particular thread and I think that is an opportunity for me to connect them, a mutual acquaintance or a contact, I will do that, because this allows me to create a much better relationship with the prospect. Now they're seeing me not as a solutions provider, but as an advisor, as a connection that they can use again and again. And that's really what questions to lend are all about. The last type of questions that you need to be asking are questions to lead. Lead is where you are now coming in closer to getting them to understand your value. So you lead by giving them value. You give them examples of solutions. You give them ideas of things that they may have never thought of. So if a customer tells me, listen, I've been having this trouble and I'm not able to solve this, I would say something like, have you tried this idea? And I've seen this work very well for some of my other clients. You know what happens in the customer's mind is that they really start to sit back and think about my behavior. They're thinking, wow, this guy is really giving away information for free. If they could do it, they would have done it themselves. But when they hear you giving information away for free, when they see you lead already, they are now building trust. Customers will do business with people they know, like, and trust. And this is how we build trust. Another good reason to ask questions to lead is you're starting to show them a roadmap to demonstrate to the client what you would do and how you would do it. And that's really what sales is all about. If I know and they know what is that we're going to do and how we're going to do, guess what? When it comes time to delivering, there's no surprises. You're going to do exactly what you said you would do. And who's going to be happy? The client's going to be happy. Who's going to get paid money on time? You're going to get paid money on time. So 4 types of questions that you can start using in your discovery process today. If you like this video, make sure you check out my video here that talks about some of the phrases that you should be avoiding in sales to close better and faster.